In this series, we'll be constructing Ash's ultimate team if he was a champion specialising in one specific type of Pokemon, using Pokemon that he's caught or bonded with in the past. To check out the previous episodes, click the playlist in the video description. And now, in this video, we'll investigate what if Ash was a fighting type champion. It seems that seeing B's team in action inspired our boy to become a fighting specialist himself. Remember, these are just my opinions, it's perfectly fine not to agree. Be sure to let me know the team that you'd give Ash in the comments below, and also be sure to join our community Discord server. And now, let's hop straight into it. The first member of Ash's ultimate fighting team has to go to Ash's Scrafty. Let's give Scraggy the evolution that he always deserved. When Scraggy hatched from his egg, he was incredibly headstrong and basically wanted to battle anything that he could find, despite being weak himself. But throughout the series, Ash and Scraggy did so much training with Iris and Axew, and by the end of it, Scraggy was much more powerful. Scraggy loves nothing more than fighting other Pokemon. So a Pokemon with this crazy passion for battling would be the absolute perfect match for Ash's fighting type champion team. Scrafty could also learn dark type moves to counter our weakness against psychic types, and also, as a Scraggy, his main thing was to headbutt literally everyone. So we could even teach him Iron Head as a Scrafty. Iron Head would not only be stronger, but would also help counter the team's huge weakness against fairy types. The second spot goes to Ash's Hawlucha. Just like in the flying type team, we can't have a champion team without the forest champion himself. Hawlucha is like the personification of a fighter. He has a real code of honour since he used to have to defend his role as the forest champion to maintain peace in his homeland. He's prideful and flashy, desiring to finish every single battle with his signature flying press move, and he's got the best costume ever. Hawlucha is awesome at battling too, managing to take down Clamont's Heliolisk, Wulfric's Abomasnow, Astrid's Mega Absol, Alan's Weavile, and much more. And of course, having a Pokemon that can battle in the sky, like Hawlucha can, could really come in handy. He also loves to train with other Pokemon to make them stronger, so I think he could help uplift and strengthen the entire team. The third member of the team is Ash's Sirfetch'd. With Hawlucha and Sirfetch'd, I've got my two favourite birdies on the same team. Sirfetch'd joined Ash because it sensed Ash's battling spirit, and so it knew that Ash could help it become a League Master. After many battles, and after some training with Wickstrom in the Castle of Chivalry, Ash and Sirfetch'd became fully in sync. Sirfetch'd went through awesome training and development to get to the strength it's at now. It's a super powerful Pokemon, even if the Pokemon Journeys writers sometimes choose to screw it over just to make Lucario look good. Yeah, I'm still mad about that. Regardless, Sirfetch'd can go on the offense with its sword and the defense with its shield. So Sirfetch'd can really be used in so many situations. Its Detect move is so powerful and basically allows it to dodge anything, and its Fury Cutter move can help deal with powerful psychic types. We could also hope that its ability is Scrappy, which would allow it to hit Ghost type Pokemon, making them less of an issue for the fighting type team. Sirfetch'd is a master of the sword and the shield, or the leek and the leak, but you know what I mean. I have a feeling that it's just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger as Pokemon Journeys continues. The next member of Ash's ultimate fighting type team is Ash's Infernape. Infernape would be an absolute speedster on the team, despite also being a powerhouse. With his Mach Punches, he can strike opponents before they can even process it. With his Dig, he can easily avoid dangerous flying type Pokemon. And I mean, we all know that nothing is getting close to Infernape when he has Flamethrower and Flare Blitz, especially when they're powered up by his completely overpowered Blaze ability. It's also worth noting that a good idea could be teaching Infernape Thunder Punch instead of Mach Punch, since Thunder Punch would not only help him deal with water types, but it would also help him battle flying types, which are probably the team's biggest weakness. The fifth spot on Ash's team goes to Ash's Primeape. There was absolutely no question about this one. Primeape was Ash's first fighting type, and truthfully, one of his most iconic, despite only appearing in 2 episodes. It was a very chaotic and angry Pokemon, and it used that anger as fuel in its battles to win. The last time we saw Primeape, he competed in the P1 Grand Prix, a fighting type tournament, and he managed to defeat every single opponent and win. Also during this tournament, Ash saved Primeape from a big fall, which made them bond and trust each other. But then Primeape was given to another competitor, Anthony, for training, and we haven't seen Primeape since then. Just imagine how strong Primeape must be by now. It was strong enough when it was with Ash, and now it's been training hard for the 23 years since then. I just know that Primeape has got to be unstoppable at this point. Also, based on Primeape's personality, it seems pretty likely that Primeape has the Anger Point ability too, which completely maxes out its attack if it's hit by a critical hit. That ability is going to be insane in Ash's team. Primeape easily deserves this spot on the team. The final member of Ash's Ultimate Fighting type team is Ash's Mega Lucario. I mean, come on, we all knew this was coming. Lucario looks like it could end up being one of Ash's strongest Pokemon ever, based on its current growth in Pokemon Journeys. Even from birth, it was powerful enough to battle incredibly strong opponents, like B's Grapploct. As a Lucario, it managed to take down Volkner's Luxray and Volkner's Rotom, two incredibly powerful Pokemon. And then it absolutely dominated against B in their Ultra Class battle, taking down both her Grapploct and her Gigantamax Machamp. Lucario literally took endless damage throughout that battle, including being pummeled by Machamp and taking 2 head-on G-Max moves. And yet it still had the energy to not only use Steel Beam, which cuts its health in half, but also knock out Machamp. Obviously, its Mega Evolution completely powers it up, because it was unstoppable in that battle. But what makes it even more crazy is that it has a strong aura bond with Ash. They can read each other's thoughts, and it seems like Ash can use his aura to strengthen Lucario's moves. And we're only scraping the surface of their aura capabilities. There could be way more to come. Lucario's Steel Beam is super effective against Fairy types, and so covers our weakness there. And then, after Steel Beam cuts its health in half, it can use Reversal, which is even stronger when Lucario is low on health. This Steel Beam and Reversal combo is gonna be unstoppable, and I don't think any Pokemon will be able to take Lucario down. So overall, if Ash was a fighting type champion, I believe his ultimate team would be Scrafty, Hawlucha, Sirfetch'd, Infernape, Primeape, and Mega Lucario. This is probably my favourite team we've constructed so far, because it features some of my favourites of Ash's Pokemon ever, like Scrafty, Hawlucha, Sirfetch'd, Infernape. I'm sorry to leave behind Heracross, another one of Ash's Johto Pokemon, but Heracross doesn't really scream fighting type to me. Ash never really used it as a fighting type, so I thought it would be best to focus on Pokemon who really embody the type that we're discussing. But to any Johto fans, don't worry, Ash's Johto team's time will come in this series. To test how strong this team is, I asked 2 of my friends, Gree and Albab, who play Pokemon competitively, to briefly evaluate the team in terms of game logic, to see if it's as viable in the games as it is in the anime. And this is what they said. Primeape is the weakest team member, but it provides great utility with moves like U-Turn and Stone Edge. If it has the Defiant ability, it can also prevent team members from being intimidated and having their attacks lowered. Sirfetch'd hits hard with Close Combat and Brave Bird, and can even hit Ghost-type Pokemon if it has the Scrappy ability. Scrafty's Psychic Immunity is awesome, and it can boost itself to high heavens with Dragon Dance, but its low speed and Fairy weakness does hold it back. Hawlucha is speedy, especially with the Unburden ability, and can deal big damage with High Jump Kick and Brave Bird. Infernape is super versatile, and has a huge move selection, from Sword Stance, Nasty Plot, Stone Edge, Gunk Shot, U-Turn, countering many of the team's weaknesses. Mega Lucario is insanely strong, to proportions that cannot be accurately described by the human mind. It can even hold its own against Pokemon like Primal Groudon and Kyogre, and its Steel typing grants it neutrality to Flying, Fairy, and Psychic types. The team is hugely hyper-offensive, which could be problematic, but this nature means that the opponent will struggle to recover. The team has a real weakness to Fairy types, and Lucario isn't always going to be bulky enough to deal with them. So there we have it. I'm happy with the team in terms of both anime logic and game logic. I think it's a great selection of Pokemon, and Ash's battle style would work well with all of them. Let me know what Pokemon you think would be on Ash's Ultimate Fighting type team in the comments below, and also let me know what type you want me to cover next. Smash the thumbs up button and subscribe too if you enjoyed, and on that note, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.